I've been guilty of zooming ahead. So let me just explain. So the floor's not welded in or anything yet. I've got some tacks in the corner for the sill, so that's in place. The floor is basically just resting there at the moment, and it's all lined up. You'll see I've got a couple of bolts in there just to help with the alignment. It doesn't seem to fit quite straight on the back there, but you know, might have to trim a little bit to just push it back slightly, because it looks slightly long on that side. Well, never ever bought panels yet that actually fitted first time. So on this side, I'm cutting the floor out. My general approach to cutting the floor out, as you can see from this edge, is I just take the disc cutter and run that all the way down the join, just to get most of the floor out of the way in one go. And on around here, there's a bit of trimming out that needs to be done in this area before I can actually lift this out, but that's basically a free apart from that. And then we can start getting into getting this sill off. And I think what I'm going to do on this side is I'm going to take the whole sill off and repair the box section here, which is, I'm sure, rotten all the way through there, just like on the other side. Repair this box section part here, then put the sill back on before we then get tucking into this part, which I've got a complete inner wing for this, so I'm gonna do all of that. But I think it might be beneficial to get the sill on first and then do that. I'm not sure where all the joins are. We'll have to find those in a while. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
I think that he and Mum would help raise sponsorship money and we'd make a sign that read, winning is no mystery, to Jamila, mystery. That night, a wolf in the alley climbed into the
Too small to get the last bit.
Mum did my hair in a sideways ponytail like Kylie.
Right, now we're digging this on it.
India's a free country now. A tale of young life.
Thinks it's spot welds, so I think that's probably one. One there, and one there. I don't know how they managed to actually spot weld it, considering that the sill's one unit, but there we go, that's how they did it. So yeah, we're going to do something different to weld it back on. There we go. Okay, we're going to make this little panel first. It needs to slot in here. We Need to get a little lip in there because the end of that seems to be missing. I might need to put that in afterwards because I think that's connected to that part of the floor, not this bit. So I'm going to do this bit first. So I'm going to make a piece to go in there. Gloves on. So, the next part of the plan is to clamp this into place. See what we need to do next. Get it to fit right. It's going to fit well at the front, fit well at the back. We need to get a bend in there, and I think from my experience doing the other side, I might leave this bend until afterwards because it just kind of wraps around the back and fills everything in. It's just going to probably get in the way. Shall I? Well, let's get this bit in first. So a moment of excitement. Excuse the background noise. Man's cutting a hedge. So here it is. New toy has arrived, and I've never used one of these before. Never. So it's going to be an interesting experience to learn how to use it, and hopefully it's going to really speed up the work that we're doing here to restore this 2CV. And I can really make a big thank you at this point to my old dad who got me into Citroens in the first place, because we had nothing but Citroens when we were kids. Although I think, no, actually that's not true. We had a Morris Minor very early on, and then we had an Austin 1300 Estate for a little while. But then after that it was AMI 8s all the way, even an AMI Super we had. So yeah, he's responsible for you know, me ending up with this thing, I guess. So he's very kindly helped me to buy this piece of kit. So this I got from a welding supply place online. It was also recommended by my friend and professional welder Dave. He liked, he's got one of the Tailwind MIG units. He says they're really good quality. So you know, I'm going to test this thing out, and we'll see how it goes, and you know, we'll soon find out, I think, whether or not this is a great piece of kit or not. So that's it. Question we've got to go. So as usual, I've been leaping ahead. Let me just show you where I got to. So I've got the sill in, now I've got the other floor in, so we now have proper floors. So as before, lots and lots of trimming needed down here to get this piece all to fit. It's pretty rough there at the moment, it all needs cleaning up still. I've lined up the floor, put a few bolts in just to make sure we've got some semblance of normality there. So I also found I needed to cut this because it was tight on that side before anyway, and now with that floor in position, and I haven't completely welded in the sill on this side, but it was just, everything was just too tight by that amount. So I mean, so I think I had two choices, which was to refabricate the floor to lose that, what is it, I don't know, maybe 5 mil, something like that, or just let the floor be 5 mil wider, and I can't think of any reason why it shouldn't be. There's no, everything's fine and dandy and square in the you know, in the door holes. That all lines up, and the wings line up nicely. I've checked all of those. So I've had all of that on and checked everything aligns there. So it could well be that the original floors would just fit a little bit tighter, but you know, 5 mil in the scheme of things, maybe that isn't a lot. Anyway, that's what I've done in order to resolve that problem. I've still discovered the front of the floor is too long, just the same as it is on that side. So again, that's either because the bulkhead is too tight, again by about sort of 5 mil, or the floors are slightly too long, one or the other. So I'm going to try and move the bulkhead forwards a little bit, and if that's not successful, I'll just trim the ends of the floors off and then reposition that hole. I'll have to weld it up and put a new hole in the right place. So that's the plan. But first thing is, I'm going to tack this sill into place so it doesn't fly off. Okay, so hopefully you can see all of this. The light's a bit funny. So I've got the sill now fully welded in, and I'll go around the other side in a sec, so the light's not too clever here because I'm under the tree. So to do this, I'm on the wrong side of the light. That's better. So to do this, put the floors in, bolted the floor down in a couple of places. I've actually bolted the bulkhead in under that point there on both sides, and the same at the back, so that that's all in place, so the floor panels fit as they should do. It's the same on this side. So the floor panels, the bulkhead's bolted down underneath there. You can probably just see the head of the bolt in that hole. So that all lines up. Then I bolted in the floor along there. So and the rear bulkhead is bolted in under there as well. So I know that the front and the rear bulkhead are in exactly the right locations. So yeah, so apart from that, welded all of the sill in now, so pretty much ready for doing some titivating around all of the other little bits that need doing, and then we can probably start thinking about actually spot welding the floors in. And then when we've got the floors in, we can actually take the body off and deal with all the big hole business. Woo! So having cleaned up all of the sills, made sure we're good there, I'm going to have to puddle weld these because I haven't got any sort of clever attachments for a spot welder to do them. So I'll just punch some holes in right the way along there and at the front as well. So I'm going to puddle weld those into place. So I've got everything back in as it was before, but you know, as usual, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some bolts into the floor so that everything's held in the right spot before I start doing any welding. Okay, that's next. difficult to do things that look like spot welds. Missed it. Got it the second time. Just gone a little bit hotter. Seems to have helped a bit. Better. They look a bit neater. Right, so floor panel in place. So we're just going to. I've already drilled the. Punched these holes so I can plug weld them. So I've just got this in place because it's a little bit bouncy. So I can start to push these into place. Some of them are going to be a little bit more difficult to press home, but we'll get going. Oh, there we go. Just got to do the rest now, and then do the other side. Hooray. Welcome to the scrap heap. So this particular scrap heap is enlightened me to one thing. I noticed this. This is the bottom of the bulkhead, and at the bottom of the bulkhead there is a little bracket. So I went and had a look at this, the parts book, and this is peculiar to the version that I've got, that's got a sort of an organ pedal type accelerator. So that's what this is. That's what this is for. So I've made up a panel to go in there, and this little funny round thing, which presumably there's a pins put through it. I must have it somewhere. I don't know where. So I'm going to connect that up and weld that into the bulkhead before I forget about it. Because the last thing you want to do is have painted the whole thing and then discover that you haven't got this bit. Anyway, right, I'm going to do that part next.